So let's get started, guys. Today we got Charles Booker on here with us, U.S. Senate candidate from Louisville and for the state of Kentucky here, and just very excited to have him on. He's got to talk with him personally a few weeks ago, and he's just got some amazing ideas. And the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about, man, is a big important issue here in East Kentucky, and that's weed. And I think that you are pro weed, and
hmm
I am too. And reason being is my mom went to prison for selling weed. There's people in prison today who are there because they sold weed. Yet in many states in this country, you can go get it like it's candy. Why do we have people in jail for selling something that's legal in many parts of this country? That's one aspect that I'd love to hear your thoughts on. But the other is just the economic benefit for Eastern Kentucky. The coal mining isn't coming back anytime soon. And what are our other options? And is that something that could play a part in that going forward for us?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you again for having me, brother. It's good to be with you. If you got an extra Batman mask, I'd love to get it when I come back down.
I'll get you one,
Yeah,
man.
man. But your question is absolutely critical to our bigger conversation. And for me, my whole campaign is about how do we end generational poverty, and how do we invest in parts of the Commonwealth that have been abandoned. Similar to my background and growing up and where I live in the West End of Louisville, I see so many similarities in Appalachia where whole communities have just really been left behind. And like you said, those co-jobs aren't coming back anytime soon. And a lot of people are struggling. And then when you look at the reality here, we have leaders that perpetuate poverty, that profit off of it. Mitch McConnell laughs to the bank while we're struggling to put food on the table. And then we criminalize poverty. And that's a big problem for me. And that is why I've been a big supporter of legalization. I've sponsored several pieces to legalize cannabis. I've also co-sponsored legislation to legalize medicinal cannabis as well. But I believe it should be legal, that we should make sure we're investing in communities that have been left behind so that we can be owners, investors, creators. And man, when you consider the limestone, when you consider the climate, the geography of Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
we are one of the best places in the country to grow it. And instead of criminalizing poverty and criminalizing a plant, we could transform our future. And like you said, we could create new industry for folks that have been, left out, and, small farmers that have been trying to figure out what's the next step for them. And then as you're seeing across the country, all these other spin-off local business opportunities, economic opportunities. And it really just goes back again to the fact that we haven't had leadership to see us, that understand that, when we're dealing with pain, when we're dealing with trauma, we don't want to be addicted to opioids. We don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
preyed upon by these industries that don't care whether we live or die.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'll tell you, I've been in a lot of committee meetings in the state legislature where we're talking about legalization, and folks will come in like the Crawfords and tell their story and just pour out about how using cannabis saved their life, stopped them from having seizures, stopped them from having pain, and stopped them from all of the ills of what opioids were doing to them.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that's not a partisan thing. And at the federal level, we get rid of Mitch McConnell. We need to deschedule cannabis. We need to be able to regulate it, but we need to invest in communities that have been underserved. That will transform Eastern Kentucky. It will transform Kentucky, and I'm a full supporter of it.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm right there on the same page, man. Again, it's just as your speech that you gave here in Whitesburg a few weeks ago. It's like you connect with the people here just with your message, because you come from a different or a similar area, even though it's Louisville and it's an urban area. It's a poor area that you come from, and the words that you speak really connect with us here, in my opinion. So, and at the same time, as we do that, as we change that and we legalize it, we also need to retroactively free the people who are in jail for selling such
Absolutely.
an herb, right, that can help man, and just let everybody out at that point. So, uh,
Yeah, I want to add there to you that I fully agree with you. I tried to explain this to a lot of people. That's why I filed the bill to automatically expunge records. We need to commute the sentences of folks that have been thrown in jail, in prison because of this plant. And we need to make sure we're investing in the communities that have been preyed upon by the war on drugs.
Hmm.
And so we're going to take that fight to Washington.
Yeah, yeah. My mom used to cuss all the time the helicopters that flew over looking for the weed, right? My mom used to hate them. She'd cuss them, you know. So yeah, it makes no sense. What a waste of our money.